Yo, what up? It's Read Your Mind from UrbanRcLA, and this is my Yeti Score Trophy Truck Kit build series, and we're gonna get started right now. Now what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go over what's required to actually complete the kit. Because I know a lot of people get ambitious and they think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy the kit because I'll get to build it from the ground up. But what does it actually take to actually complete a kit? Now I'm one of these types of people that I like to go out and buy everything I'm gonna use for the kit before I even build, so I don't have to stop the build, I can just kind of go right through it. So first I'm gonna go over the bare minimum that you need to finish the kit, and then I'm gonna go over some of the upgrades that I got for the kit that I'll show you in just a minute. So let's start first with just a few of the basics that you're gonna need to complete the kit. I like to have a trusty headlamp because I'm blind as a bat and I can't see anything, so that's always helpful if it gets a little dark or too amber in your room. We've got some tools. I always just have a couple different sizes of screwdrivers to use just in case. Some Lexan scissors. These are a little different than regular scissors. They cut Lexan bodies really well. Hobby knife. You're going to need that for stickers and whatever else. Then I usually use the Dynamite hex screw set. I have two sets of them just so I can have two different sizes set up. You'll need like 1 mil, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, etc. And I have different versions of that because these ones fit really nicely inside of a drill, so it can speed up my actual build time. So I have a little Craftsman drill, has a light on it, that makes things go really smooth. I also have a set of needle nose pliers for like the hard to reach bolts and stuff like that. Tire wrench, I've got some other pliers, some backup blades. I also have like a little mini box just to put some extra screws for a specific part of the build I'm working on. I always use a CalRC Pro Mag pit mat for all my screws, but this is just in case there's extra. Then I'm going to need, you're going to need a receiver. I'm going to use the Spectrum SR415. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 channel receiver. These are about, $45-50, so I find them a really well priced receiver. Of course, you're going to need a transmitter, and I have a Spectrum transmitter as well. You're going to need a battery. I'm going to be using the MaxAmps 6500 milliamp LiPo. It's a 7.4 volt. Just so I can have a long-lasting run time with plenty of power. I love MaxAmps. If you want the best batteries in the world, get MaxAmps. You're also going to need like a motor and ESC. So I'm going to be using the Castle Creations SCT Race Pro Mamba Max Pro with Newcastle 1410 motor. This is what was recommended to me by Joe Ford at Castle as the best option for this truck for power and torque. So Joe, thanks a lot for the heads up on which to buy. This is surely going to be enough power and enough speed. This is, by the way, the 5mm shaft version. Just make sure if you're going to pick this up to make sure to go for the 5mm shaft version and not the 3mm shaft version. Now for that whole setup, I'm going to need this little BEC 10 amp max output, 6S max input. This is just to make sure it regulates the power that's going to the ESC and receiver, I believe. I've never used one of these before, but that was what was recommended. Then you're going to need a servo, and I have two options here. These were just what were in my kit. A lot of people will probably say go with Savox. I don't usually break servos because I'm a pretty good driver and I'm not crazy with the turning and the throttles when I'm jumping. So I may either go with the high-tech HS645 MG or the Spectrum S6180. I'm sure I'll see in the comments all of you guys saying, what are you, crazy, you should be using Savox. I know, but I've never broken a servo, so I'm cool. You're going to need, for the body to paint, you're going to need some masking tape. I just use the colored masking tape. The reason why I use this is because I can put different colors for different colors I'm going to use on the body design. I have a little sanding block here. This is just to smooth out the edges on the body. Then I also have the different color schemes I'm going for. I use Tamiya paints because it's always awesome. It's always perfect for what I'm doing and I never have to worry about anything. You can see I've got quite the color variation here. I'm going to go with the green and yellow because I have some really cool upgrades from Boom Racing, which I'm going to go over in a second. Then obviously, of course, you need the trophy truck kit, which has got all the pieces in it you need. So that's just the basics that you need to get started with the kit. So if you're thinking about buying one, literally right here, there's probably an additional $400 or $500 worth of items. So keep that in mind when you're gonna do a kit, is that if you don't have the tools, you have to buy those. If you don't have the receiver or the battery or the motor ESC combo, you have to buy all that as well. So make sure you take that into consideration before you buy the kits. For some of you who are new to the hobby, you might just wanna buy the ready-to-run version because you get everything for only about $100 more. So think about that. So now that I've gone over just the basics of what you need, I'm gonna go over the upgrades. Okay, here we are. Now we're going to talk about some of the upgrades I picked up for my Axial Yeti Score Trophy Truck Kit build. As I stated before, I like to pick up everything I'm going to do for the project in the beginning so that I only have to build it once. So I'm going to go over just a few. And now Boom Racing from AsiaTees.com has the most upgrades in one spot for the Yeti out of anywhere in the world. So this isn't everything you can get, it's just the things that I picked out that I thought were the most important to the kit build. And you know, I don't concern myself too much with performance like a lot of the guys. I like looks and scale realism. So I tried to get a uniform look and feel. All of it's green, that's why I did the green paint scheme, except for the axle housing. So I'm just gonna go over just the parts that I picked up for this, so you can see what this build's ultimately gonna be like and what the build series is gonna entail. So first things first, I got the aluminum axle housing. This thing is pretty badass. I've never had one before. This is great from Boom Racing. I can't wait to get in there, put the gears in there, and for that I got the green axle housing cover. This is to tie the look all together in the back because that will stick out real nicely from the back. Then we have the Boom Racing aluminum shock tower set in green. We also have this is the aluminum anti-sway bar arms. This is a pair of them, that's green as well. I picked up some anti-sway bar links in silver because that'll give it a nice little accent. You can see these are the aluminum rear upper links. These are really beefy and super strong. Like I can't even bend them, and they're really lightweight too, so I'm really stoked about those. Some other accoutrements would be the aluminum front bumper mounts. Just a little piece, but you know, every little bit counts. It'll look great when you lift off the top and everything's like shining through green. Of course, we also have the aluminum rear lower links, and these are just, gosh, these are just beefy. I'm so excited about those. They look great. Then we have the Boom Racing aluminum front body mount. So that's gonna look good when I take off the top, take off the lid. Similar here, this is the aluminum steering Bellcrank set, giving another little green accent in there amongst all the blackness. Then I have the aluminum lower front control arm set. Again, these are just massive, and you'll see them as I get more into the build, how just so beefy those are. And then I also have the aluminum rear sway bar mount set. That's to make sure that the sway bar can mount to the axle. I went with the black transmission case. The reason why I went with the black transmission case in aluminum is because the Castle Creations motor is green, so I think setting that green on top of the black will look really cool. So that's, I just, you know, figured, what the heck. And then I also have the front steering knuckle caster blocks, and hopefully, yeah, I got one for each side. That's good. And then we have the aluminum battery tray holder. I just think this will look cool sitting on top of the battery instead of the black one. Another thing that does not do anything for performance, it just looks cool. And then I also got the rear 4-link mount sets. I don't know exactly how to install these, but I think it's probably important. So when I get to that part in the instructions, hopefully that'll work. Then I also got the aluminum steering knuckle pair for the front steering. And finally, I picked up some tie rods, some aluminum tie rods. So again, you know, when you're thinking about building a kit, it's really good to plan it out from the beginning. Like, I didn't just go out and buy all this all at the same time. I actually took my time doing it, right? And there's various ways to find discounts online. You know, there's coupon codes from AsiaTees, there's coupon codes from pretty much everybody if you just look, and you'll be able to save some money. This entire setup here was about $480. So if you combine that with the motor and the ESC and the servos and the paint and all the tools, you're looking at basically another $1,000 worth of parts and upgrades for a kit that costs $359, $349. So by the time this is all done, and I haven't even counted the transmitter yet. The transmitter, the one I'm using, is $350. So basically for this vehicle all up as a kit, without ever doing anything in RC, with all the upgrades, you're looking at almost $1,500. So again, that's something really to consider when you're actually determining whether or not you want to build a kit. Because it takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of love and care, and a lot of investment to make it work. Lucky for me, I have some great sponsors: AsiaTees, CalRC, MaxAmps, Castle Creations. Big shout out to those guys for hooking me up with great deals on all this stuff so I could make sure I could bring this kit build series to you guys. So make sure you stay tuned to the kit build series, because I'm going to get started on it right away, and I'm going to be following up with videos on my progress. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments about anything that I chose to use for the kit, leave them in the comment section below. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Now I'm Read Your Mind, and I'm out of here.